Hey everybody, how's it going? Sorry we're a little late. We're busy talking about everybody who's online, so hope your ears are ringing. No, welcome everybody. As I'm Charlie from Cooking Secrets for Men, and this is my good friend Tom Garvey from Tom Garvey the Keto Cook, and we're here to talk and have a little fun. Specifically, one of the things I wanted to get to with Tom, and we'll get to in a second, is he's become very prolific in shorts, not wearing shorts, YouTube shorts. I'm sure you've got cute legs for your regular shorts, Tom. You wear them out in the desert. But this came up with the dudes chat we had a couple weeks ago, where we started talking about shorts and news break and that type of thing. So we're kind of moving in that direction. I just wanted to pick Tom's brain. I thought we had some good things. So, Tom, why don't you, like I mentioned, you've become very prolific in shorts. I mean, when we were offline just a couple minutes ago, you were starting to talk about there's a timing to it, and you want to figure out when to do it, when not to do it, that type of thing.
Yeah, Charlie, thanks for having me on. Anyway, everybody in the chat, hello, how you doing? Nice to see everybody. We're going to try to go down and say hello to each and every one of you. The shorts started me when I first started this YouTube channel early on. Okay, I did a short. I made homemade sausage, and I used broccoli rabe. Now, broccoli rabe is something not everybody knows about. Okay, so it's an Italian dish, and I did it with the egg life noodles. But I put up a short with it. Okay, 15 seconds with Frank Sinatra behind it. Okay. That night, I put it up, and that night, all of a sudden, my phone went berserk. Bing, bang, boom, boom. I don't know what the hell Marie's saying to me. What's going on? Well, that short jumped from 0 to 100,000 in 15 minutes. Okay. Oh, man, what's this? Okay. The end result was I got a couple hundred subscribers out of it. Lost a few here and there. And then I thought, well, you know what? I'm the cat's meow. I'm the shorts guy. Okay. Then the next one I put up got 16 views. So talk about letting the air out of your tires.
All right.
So what I did was I did some research with it. Okay. And I looked at, I have vidIQ that I deal with. Okay. And they sort of give you time frames when the best time for you to put your videos up, when your audience is there. So in the beginning, it was all over the place because I was a new channel. I had nobody. Okay, that one short put me up, got me up higher than where I was going to be. I had 50. I think I had 50 subscribers. So like I said, with the timing on it, and then what I did was I just put some meat into a black skillet outside, the noise, the whole bit. That got 67,000. So I said, "Oh, wait a minute. Too bad we're not getting paid for this or getting any recognition." But I was getting subscribers with it. So I did a little bit more research. So the timing and who your followers are, your subscribers are, okay, and where it goes. Everybody's under the misconception that you put up a short and it goes out to everybody. Well, no, YouTube puts it in certain places. All right, for where they think that it's going to work for you. So that's why sometimes right now I'll put one up and I'll get 15 or 1600 views on it. All right. Another time I'll put one up, I'll get 40 or 50 on it. Anything that's less than 50, I'll take off because the timing's just not right. Okay. Sometimes it's the way people click on it and say, I don't know. But I'll take that down. So it seems to be late at night or like on weekends, like between 7 and 8 o'clock for me to do it. So you have to really watch your analytics on it, on when most people are watching your stuff. So there again, it's a crapshoot, but you still got to watch where your timing is. I mean, if you're going to put one up early in the morning, it's not going to do nothing for the day. Also, I would avoid. I put 2 videos a week up. I'll do Wednesdays and Sundays.
This is full videos.
Full videos.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I do want to the video you just did on pork belly and bok
Sure.
choy, and I want to talk about that in just a minute. But
Okay, yeah.
So two full videos.
Yeah, two full videos, Wednesdays and Sundays. I like my Sunday dinner, but I avoid trying to put up shorts on them days for some odd reason. It's two different venues, two different things, but I feel one pulls from the other, and I want to. I try to stay away from that. I ran into a little bit of a problem, Charlie. What I did was I was trying to put a short up before I post my video. Okay, gives you some kind of idea of how the video is going to do. Until now, after February 1st, you're going to start getting monetized. You're going to start getting paid on it. Okay, the 10 million number is in 90 days is for basically for all the videos that you put up in 90 days. You got to have at least 10 million in order to get fully paid on it. Okay, but they will throw you some bones, just like they're doing right now with our full videos. You know, I mean, $6, $7 or something like that.
That's like 3.3 million a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, the whole idea is pick and choose. I mean, the viral stuff. I mean, some kid driving his bicycle into the brick wall. That's go viral, something like that. But as far as cooking channels, okay, I would just keep doing what you're doing. Put them out. So if you have a video coming up, like I do two a week. Now I'm ahead of myself now with shorts that I'm just trying to find where I'm at. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
either Friday night or Saturday night, I'll put up the short for Sunday's video. That was my goal. Okay.
So it's a preview of what you're doing on the Wednesday, Sunday.
Right. Okay. So you can also put up on your advertise a little bit more. The less writing you put on a short, the better off you are.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Good tip.
I put keto cooking. Boom. Usually at the end, they want to see the food first. Keep the title short. Okay. So I mean, yeah, I mean it's a game, and I'm playing the game because I'm not a know-it-all with it. Okay. It's just like almost like a crapshoot. You know the old song, know when to fold them, know when to hold them, and that's why that's why I run with it like that. Now you mentioned also Newsbreak. Okay.
Right.
Now I went on Newsbreak. I had another fellow YouTuber tell me about Newsbreak. Okay. So I went on and I tried it. Okay. And I had a hard time navigating through it. I did okay with it. All right. But I had a hard time navigating. We just weren't connecting. It didn't seem like the same venue as YouTube, but also you get paid immediately from Newsbreak. You put something up, it starts registering. I think you got to have over 1,000 views or something like that for it to kick. I dropped off, and I told Dude about it. Okay, Dude took off. I mean, he just ran wild with it, and I was glad to see it because I was scratching my head. I said, "This thing's not worth it," But now I went back on again. He sort of encouraged me to go back on, try it again, and I went back on. And they have impressions. Okay, so that's how many times it gets put up on Newsbreak. Well, I just had one. I did flipping hamburgers. Okay, 97,000 impressions. I got over 10,000 views on it. That's like crazy.
Right.
So yeah, it's it's another way. Like I said, another way to get paid. And just for the record, okay, I am on YouTube for the money. No matter how you add it up. Okay. I don't want to waste my time, doing this. For me not to get anything out of it. And plus the food prices. So I figured I'd just clear that up.
I'm looking for my Newsbreak app. Can't seem to find it. So, but it's the same one that sends you news and
yeah. You're better off to set this up. You're better off to go on, through your PC.
So when I looked at it, there was you have to apply, and there's some sort of criteria and questions, and
they want to make sure that you're legit. That you don't have no political agenda. You have no, whatever you're putting up, you're true to that. Okay, so right. It is, just food. I mean, dude puts up stuff what he cooks and stuff like that. Charlie, I just put one up yesterday up on there. I didn't talk. I took an old video, okay, remastered it, music throughout the whole thing, self-explanatory, and bang, that took off like a rocket. So it's a total different venue than YouTube. The only thing is you got a lot of you got to be careful. You got to have a little thick skin because some of the comebacks from some of the people are just like off the world. You know, so, I relish that. I like that. It lets me practice my Jersey.
I was going to say they have no idea where they're coming from. So, what would you say from a short standpoint your ratio is to taking old ones and redoing them, and the new ones where you're previewing your YouTube video?
That opened up another door for me, okay? Because I take some of my horrible, I mean horrible beginning videos, okay? yeah, exactly. I mean, we all have them. Have them. But to get, now that I'm monetized, okay, to bring them back up again, to see if we can revive them a little bit with a short from it. And you know what? There's some, if you really go back and look at it, easy to do, okay? It gives you 15 to 60 seconds to make it revive that. And what'll happen is you put on there, check out the video. I do it on my phone, and I go back onto the computer, and I'll go through the analog. I'll go through the description and do another description. I'll put another set of tags in it. I'll do all that to revive that old video. And I tell you what, it worked. I had one video had 40 views on it. And since I did a short on it, now you got to be careful with music. Okay. What's on there is on there. You can't add no more music to it. Okay. For a different thing.
All right.
But what's on there, okay, you revamped that. I went from 40, I doubled. I went back. That video almost has 88 on it. And that was done 11 and a half months ago.
So you would, I know that you had talked about, this is going back a while when first started, we talked about redoing old videos and just to spruce them up a little bit and maybe get a little more viewing on them. But this seems to me to be you've figured out, or you're beginning to figure out how to both take old videos and repurpose them, and then use the preview to show the videos that you're going to be putting out 2 days a week.
Right. So now also what I did was, okay, I like to get ahead of myself. I don't want no pressure. Okay. I'm retired. Okay. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy my life out here in Vegas. Okay. And for a while this was becoming the job. Okay. Which is fine. Okay. Keeps me busy, keeps me moving. I got to go swim and do my walk, come back, and get on the computer, or I'll make a video and I'm enjoying editing anyway. Who the hell, where did this come from? All of a sudden I'm enjoying editing. But you can take an old video that you did in the past. Okay. I mean, I delete for a while there. I was making videos and deleting them, getting rid of them. I'll never use them again. But you can take them from YouTube and re-download them and revamp them.
All right.
Okay. So now you got a whole nother, I have almost 500 videos that I put up.
Wow.
Almost, okay, 470 something, whatever. Now I can go back to some of them old ones rather than scrap them, bring them back. Either make shorts out of them, okay, make a 2 or 3 minute video out of them and bring them back up again. Because now, back then I had 40 and 50 subscribers when I made them. Now, what my subscriber count is, just people didn't see that stuff because not everybody goes back and watches your whole thing.
Right.
So yeah, it's a good way to keep your channel rolling. Okay. If you're a really good editor, you can turn around and open up another channel. Okay. Just make sure that, keep, run them both together. You can start something. So there's a lot of advantages to it.
So if everybody who's online, thank you very much. We're trying to keep up with the comments. If you have any questions about shorts or news break or anything, throw them in, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. But we're just going to kind of ramble on as we're wont to do.
Cool.
So that's. I've done a couple of shorts. I haven't really gotten into it. I know and that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I know there's a rhyme and a reason, and it makes some sense on what you're doing. I tried a couple of videos, but I couldn't keep it up, because YouTube has said we're more interested in what the intro looks like. So I took a lot of the pieces of putting the meal together and put them up front in about a 30-second montage, and then went into the video. So I don't know if that did anything, but
I learned early on is that, and I was part of this whole thing. What do I do? Overthinking it, basically overthinking everything. All right. But the problem is, okay, this is your channel. Okay. If you're putting somebody had told me a while back, okay, and Tom, this is your video. This is your channel. Okay. You're trying to get your word out as far as what keto is, or what you're doing with keto, whether it's 3 minutes or 30 minutes. Okay. You got to be able to do that for you, not for somebody else.
Right.
Okay. So I took that and I ran with it. I said, you know what? That's right. So, for the people say, I didn't watch the whole video, got boring. I said, okay, whatever. That's fine. You know what I mean? So, I'm sorry about clicking through, but, and then you can tell the people who just write stuff,
right.
Great corn on the cob. What the hell are you talking about? I don't eat corn on the cob,
I've had several people who are subscribers who write for one of these chats, say, oh, it was delicious. Great recipe. I'm thinking, just because I'm holding a plate in the promo, so they figure, I must have made that. Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. I mean, that's I'm doing this for me and for the viewers. I got a hold of somebody, and it was crazy, because the people, they do carnivore diet, okay, just meats and stuff like that, or meat-like substances, the whole bit. Now I don't press keto. I don't say, you got to do this, or don't come near me or anything like that. Everybody's relevant. Okay. If you're doing something that's going to help you, that's great. But this guy told me last night, he said, listen to me. He said, any kind of bad comments or anything like that, somebody don't want to deal with your channel, that's fine. Okay. You let them go their own way or whatever. All right. He said, but sometimes I was letting things bother me to the point where it was crazy. All right. So I took that and I said, you know what? He's 100% right. And I'm just putting my videos out. Shorts, okay, lead to people coming to your channel, okay? And that leads to them watching your channel. Now, if you see your subscribers go up, I was losing 10, 20 at a time, okay? And then all of a sudden I started just putting up what I wanted to put up, how I wanted to get my point across. And they're starting to stick.
It's you. I mean, you're being true to you.
And it's starting to stick a little bit more and a little bit more. So you'll find people, I mean, I have people that crochet, okay, not necessarily on keto, okay? So whether they stick or not, okay, that's neither here nor there.
So there are several people, and the guy I just put up is one of them, and Ginger's another one, who put up just whatever they feel like. And there's no pretense. There's no, well, we have to follow this, and this. It's like, I mean, you just did one on, a short on, I don't know if it's a short, but it was on putting sauce on his beef tips. And it's, Ginger does the same thing too. She's just, she's all over the place doing stuff she wants to do. So that's what we should be doing. We should be doing what we want to do, not what people think we should be doing.
Exactly.
So, do you know Smoking Bears? Have you ever seen that channel?
Oh yeah, Lee. I know Lee. Me and Lee go back from the beginning.
Good. Well, he just did he just had a video out where he had 2 shots. One was kind of over here watching, and the other one was maybe over here. Mm-hmm. And I commented, and I said, God, that's 2 camera shot. That's pretty cool. And he said, well, you do it on StreamYard, and you do with your phone and the camera. And I said, oh, that's interesting because then you can get 2 shots if you want to edit it. Do you know anything about that? Does it make any sense?
Yeah, I mean, he has 2 cameras that he works with,
All right.
and they're basically fixed all the time. I I tried it and I lost one in a pot of soup. So I said,
Yes.
let me get a little bit more savvy with the cameras and stuff. Yeah, you can do that, but I found out for me, going back and forth right now, taking a shot of me or whatever, I just I made a boom. Okay. So I have the camera at the end of the boom. So as I'm cutting or this and that, rather cut back on editing time. All right. All I do is I go from where I'm cutting stuff up or I'm explaining what I'm going to do, and I swing it over to the stove, one shot. Just moves it over that way. So that takes care of the second camera.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I found out that the 2 cameras that I had, okay, and I had the wrist remote, okay. When I try to do it, Charlie, it actually turned one camera on, shut the other camera off. So, yeah. Yeah, Lee basically lets his stuff run, and he's got that,
right.
More of a conversation and stuff like that. That works for him. Okay, and I've seen other guys. I guess his name is Ricer. I guess Dead Broke Barbecue. He's got that cornered as far as different camera angles and stuff like that, and he'll actually help you with it, how to do it. He's a barbecue guy, but he's a pretty nice guy. But yeah, multiple cameras, even that with phones and stuff like that. The only problem with that is if you're going to be talking on that, your microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just the way that he answered the question. It was, with StreamYard, it's pretty easy. And I said, well, maybe I have to check it out. But I like you. I got, I would probably, as I'm pushing on one, it would turn off the other one, and I got enough to worry about. Just remember what the hell I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, Jeff Ricer, that's right.
So I did want to talk to you about your the one you did with it was eggplant and pork belly, and now I'm asking for a friend because he doesn't really know. But what's the difference between pork belly and bacon? And I'll make sure that I tell him.
Well, pork belly is not cured. It's not smoked. It's just a raw meat. It's just from when they butcher it.
Uh-huh.
They take it off. It's not smoked. It's not cured. It's just regular pork.
So is it more that the curing has salt, and I think probably to some extent has sugar in it?
Yeah, I mean some of the curings that they do, either they smoke it and they inject it with with the curing salt and stuff like that, and that's basically the reason why they do that is longevity. It stays longer.
Right. Yeah, it's a preservative. Right. All right. So I'll tell him that, my friend who asked.
Yeah.
I never knew there was a difference. I always just assumed people who saying they were, having pork belly was just, they were just having bacon.
My concept with that was to put together shrimp and like almost like shrimp and bacon, wrapped bacon, and I use bok choy a lot and eggplant and stuff like that. So it's something to go to, mix it up, something quick,
So the eggplant. That's one thing I wanted to mention. So I follow Melissa Clark and have for years for the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. Queen of the one pan sheet pan dinner. I don't know if she invented it, but she certainly put out enough cookbooks on it. But she does not peel or salt her eggplant.
Neither do I.
And you don't.
Nope.
And I don't. I never, depending on what you're doing with it, it's an unnecessary step.
When I remember when I was a kid, okay, my grandmother had the old irons, that you would put on the stove, get hot, okay, and then she would iron her clothes. So when they would make eggplant, okay, I'd have to get the 2 irons, and they put them in a big yellow mixing bowl and plates on top and put the iron on it. And, I mean, no need. There's no need for it. Yeah.
But it was, I was interested in the cooking them,
water, dude,
grill marks on them, and then freezing them.
That's what I do.
Yeah, it was again another genius, which brings me to another thing I wanted to tell you about. But that's just smart, and I never would have thought to do that. Why would I do that? But now that I've seen it done, I go, okay.
I've been in the food line a long time. When I was a kid, I had a hot dog wagon. Okay. Right outside of this tavern in Spotswood, New Jersey. And I sold bread hot dogs. I was 12 years old.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And back then I was doing like 60 or 70 bucks a day. And I would start I'd get there at 10 o'clock in the morning and I'd be done by 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then at night, I had my working papers and I'd go work in the country club washing dishes. But the hot dog wagon brought me to the point where, you know what? If you do the right thing, people like it. Okay. It's just not a dirty water dog and a dog like that. So I've been around and I always watched what people were doing and how they were doing because it intrigued me. Charlie, I'm sub to a couple people that cook on YouTube here. I don't understand a word they're saying. Okay. Have no clue what they're saying, but I see what they're cooking because
right. You mean you're trying for? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's common. It's a common food. That's why a lot of things I'm going to start pretty soon. I'm going to start doing. I'm going to pre-record them, but I'm going to do some lives like this, but pre-record it with all kinds of people.
Right. So one of the things we teased about, and let me finish going back to your freezing the eggplants, and this goes back to your video that I copied for freezing the spaghetti squash. Mm-hmm. So, I did a video on that, and it got good mix of people watching it. So I also have my recipe website is cookingsecretsformen.com. And I've been plodding along, and it'll add a subscriber here, a subscriber there, and, one or two a day, or, I may lose one here or there, but it was like 1,100. It was almost 1,200.
Wow.
I posted my video of what I got from you, and I don't know why, and I haven't figured it out. And the only thing I can attribute it to is this spaghetti squash rings roasted. It went up to almost 4,000 subscribers.
Wow.
From 1,200 or 1,180 something to just under 4,000 in one day. And I looked at it, and I kept refreshing it about every 20 minutes just to see if it was going to change. Is this a mistake? And so the only thing I can attribute it to is the brilliance of cooking something and then freezing it and having it not only keto friendly but vegetarian and easy on the pocketbook, right, and a simple thing to do. So
I turned around, just the two of us. Now before I started doing keto, we would eat constantly shoving stuff in, and back then we would take a spaghetti squash and cut it lengthwise in half. Yeah. And we'd sit down and eat that whole. I can't do that no more.
Right.
So everything shrunk a little bit, and so what I do now is I'm saying it makes more sense to cut them. Plus, Marie, we take the seeds. I'll roast the seeds also. I'll put a little spice on them. Put them in the oven also. But with a little olive oil and put them in the pan, roast them up a little bit. Put 2 in a pack. I cut them as thick as I can for a serving. And that's what we'll have. I'll have them for a couple of weeks. It's something.
I'm on your coattails, just hanging on, getting subscribers here and there. So
yeah,
what would Tom do? Oh, that's great. So some of the people, you saw our promo on this, that Tom and I are going to do a little teaching of Italian, how you're supposed to say words in Italian, because I am Italian and Tom is
Irish.
He says he's Irish, but he's from Jersey, and he's
Charlie, it was funny as hell because where I grew up, everybody was Italian. All my friends were Italian. There was a couple of us, mixed in the mix. But from a young kid going to my friend's house, okay, on Sundays. That's why I come up with the Sunday thing, because it's always a big to do with me. Sit down. Gonna have some pasta. Come on, sit down. One day I went to a friend's house and I had gabazelle. They had the goat head. The hell is that? Okay. I tried it, but the grandmother saying, "Come on, manager, come on." With the eyeball. Nah, sorry. Doing that.
Yeah, I'd have to draw the line there.
Yeah. But
so my first pet peeve in all of eating, and it started with the stupid panini press. That unless you're doing multiple sandwiches, it's a panino press.
Yeah.
Panini is multiple sandwiches.
Yeah.
So if you go into a restaurant and you order a panini, you better have several of them.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's a panino.
My thing was I worked in a place and I trained under right off the boat Italian guy. Was fantastic. Okay, he didn't speak too good, but me and him sort of hit it off. Okay, anytime, hey Minica, come here, hello, Minica, man, hello. And he walked through. He taught me that he does not put sugar. He never put sugar in his sauce. Butter. He would put butter in it, and that would take the acid out of it. And I do that to this day. I don't use any sugar. But he'd say, with the panini, a little bread, a little. That's a panini, a little. Okay? And the other side of it was the piano or whatever it was a roll, small roll. That's the way he taught me with that.
Well, if you can, pane is bread, so panini can be small bread.
Small bread, yeah.
But in the terms of how it's used in America, you can't order a panini. You order multiple to have paninis.
Yeah,
and it was just one of those.
My biggest thing was, I'll have the calamari. Get out.
How about? Can I have some bruschetta?
Yeah.
What's on the bruschetta?
Yeah.
Can I, the bow tie pasta? Can I have some? What's the bow tie pasta? The farfalle?
The farfalle. Farfalle. Unbelievable.
Farfalle. Okay, we're gonna do a little alphabet lesson in Italian for everybody. Yeah. A is pronounced A. The English E is pronounced A, hard A. So like farfalle, L-E at the end, it's butterflies. Farfalla is a butterfly. Here's where it gets interesting. The I in Italian is pronounced as a hard E, like biscotti, panini. The I becomes an E. The O is an O, and the U is U. Can two count as a panini? Yes.
And a lot of the words also or emphasize in the middle of the word.
Where the accent is. Or
the only one I can see the difference is mozzarella cheese. That's the only thing I can see the difference is. It's in mozzarella.
Well, there's always espresso. Can I get an espresso?
Yeah, espresso.
Espresso.
That's see, I like to play with people with that kind of stuff. So I would say, so you want a decaf? No, I want an espresso. Well, if it's an espresso, it means it doesn't have any caffeine in it. So that would be, caffeine-free coffee.
Right.
You mean an espresso?
Espresso.
Yeah, espresso, not X. Yeah, pretty cool.
And biscotti is multiple in Italy. It's multiple cookies. It is not a type of cookie. It's multiple cookies. Biscotto is a cookie.
Right.
But again, that's a little too Italian technical. So people who don't speak Italian need to, we'll put this one up. So people who don't speak Italian need to learn the language for ordering Italian food. Yes.
It's really hard for people. I mean, it got so Americanized. I just watch some of these guys, these Italian guys, they just shake their head and say, "Okay, whatever." Galamad. Hey, can I have some galamad?
How about focaccia?
Yeah, focaccia. Yeah,
Focaccia. Cha.
Yeah.
See, it's a difficult language. Some of it is, there are many words in Italian that are the same in English. Internet, computer, video. I mean, there's a lot of, especially modern technology, the same word as English and Italian. But
a lot of slang.
When you say I'm hungry, Italians don't say I'm hungry. They say I have hunger. Oh, fame. I have, and then fame is hunger. And then when you say how old you are, you don't say I'm 16. You say, or I'm 20. You say, 20 anni. I have 20 years. There's certain things that are a little strange about the Italian language.
What I used to, this one Italian restaurant I worked at, what I used to do is, and the guy loved it, because I would get these whole cloves of garlic, cut them, put them in the oven, get them going, and then I would take them and I would put them in the plants that were around the restaurant, and I would just stick them in there after we roasted them, and get the smell of garlic inside the place. It was just that he said, "Santa Lucia, it smelled like like
that." So Marie just put up that your mother spoke slang, made up her own words, had no difference. We call that Sicilian, Marie.
That's what she is. Oh boy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You trying to get me?
Sicilian and Italian are not the same language. They're
totally different.
Polar opposites, but there's a lot of words that are not even close to being similar.
Are you trying to have a story made of me?
I had no idea she was Sicilian. Oh my God. So one of the things that you have mentioned a lot in videos is food prices. That's a theme, and that's all over the world. Food prices have gone up significantly, but there is a way, and I think you do it well. You have to shop. You have to be judicious in both the amounts that you're getting, and you may have to settle for something. You may have to get a cheaper cut of meat instead of getting filet. You may have get a strip steak or something. But there are ways around higher prices.
Oh yeah.
And I think that the more that we can point that out for people, the more helpful we can be. Like I unfortunately, I go to the store a lot and I don't really look. I just buy. If I need a red pepper, I'm buying a red pepper. I'm not gonna buy the organic one because
let's not get me started about organic.
Right. I think we're on the same page with that. So if you're not buying organic, the rest of us are going to die for all the only organic is safe. Everything else is it's just. But there's not on the shelves. There's so much comparison to go on, like olive oils. There's 50 different types of olive oils.
And is it really olive oil?
Well, that's another.
Yeah,
that's another one. But yeah, I think that's something everybody needs to keep an eye on. Is do comparison shopping. I'm a coupon clipper, and not because I have to, because it's a game for me.
Yeah,
it's like I'd give you an example. So CVS down close to where I live, every week sends out a 40% off coupon from one item, always. So I didn't really have anything to buy this week, and then my printer ran out, and I said, I need a black cartridge. So I ran down to CVS, and with all the discounts and stuff, the $32 cartridge was $18. But there's coupons like that. We have Metro Market here, which is Pick and Save, which is Roundy's, which is Kroger. And they have weekly specials. They have digital, and I'll just I'll look and see, oh, look at that. I eat this. I'm going to buy, the milk was another example. So the gallon milks were almost $3 a piece, but the half gallons were $1.25, and you can get up to 5. So I said, I'll just buy half gallons.
Yeah,
And put them next to each other and pretend they're friends.
Yeah, my whole thing is that I'm getting to the point. I'm getting old. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, hey, get off my lawn type of guy, So yeah. So when I go into the store and I see butter that I paid a month or so ago, and I'll buy 3 pounds at a clip, okay, because I use a lot of it and I freeze a lot of the stuff. But when I go in, I see that it was from $7.99 now up to $13.99.
Whoa.
Yeah, drives me insane. I use whole heavy cream, okay, and I use it for multiple different things, but mostly with my coffee and stuff like that because of the keto, full fat, the whole bit. That was $7.99 for a half gallon. That's close to almost $12. Okay, eggs. Everybody's crying about the eggs and stuff like that. Eggs went from, and I would get 20 in a pack for $6.99. Now that's almost $14. But where I'm different from other people, coming from the restaurant business, I always bought in bulk. Marie hated it, especially when I would go to the Price Club or something like that, and I come on, you'd hear me back in it, beep beep beep, back in it,
like Kramer.
Yeah. So, but and it's hard for me to get away from that. Okay, so I'll buy a whole roll chuck, all right, and I'll break that down different part. I'll take the flat iron out of it, and not a lot of people know how to do that. But you got to start learning how to do that because they're killing you at the meat counter. All right.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would get 5 tri-tip in a pack, and I think I paid like $50. Now that's $100 and some. Get the same 5 tri-tips, in the pack.
Are you talking at Sam's Club?
No, this is at this Smart and Fine Line deal. It's a half-assed restaurant supply and open to the public. Type of thing. You know what I mean? I'll buy the bulk cheese and my ricotta cheese.
Ricotta.
Yeah, ricotta.
Italian lesson, ricotta, not ricotta. Ricotta is a boat race.
Yeah.
Ricotta.
So, I mean, but what I keep preaching about is because you know what? There are people out there that they're struggling. They actually are struggling with it. Okay. And the alternative is go and buy cheap junk. And next thing you know, what they think they're saving on food, they're going to have to start paying out on there. Again, I'm not a doctor, but start paying out on higher medicines and stuff because you're eating junk, basically.
I'm not going to get preachy, but there's a diminishing return on buying cheap versus quality. I mean, you can buy quality and shop bargains and shop around, but because I'm retired, I can go to multiple stores, and I live in a city, so I got an Italian place, I got a Whole Foods, I got a Trader Joe's, I got multiple grocery stores, I got Asian, I can go anywhere. And then we got a market, and we couldn't.
Now I got to say something about. I do the same thing, Charlie. I got everything within a couple miles of me. All right. I think the last time I got gas was in September. My car, because we go to the same spots, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But between, and I don't want to bash anybody or anything like that, or have any kind of stores come down on us and stuff. But if you want to get a good deal, if you want to have normal food, okay, that's high volume and stuff, Trader Joe's is the place to go.
Yeah.
In my book, Sprouts is overpriced, way overpriced. Okay. I seen Marie eats apples. I don't eat them because of the sugar, but Marie eats them small little apples. They went from $4.99 now to $8.99, doubling the price. I don't get it. I don't understand why, but here's the problem: people pay it, and that's why they keep going up and down there. So, yeah, I'll go back and forth. I don't clip any coupons or anything else like that. I tried the old Jersey squeeze on this one store. I said, "Hey, look, I'll give you my number. I live right down the road. When you not mark that truck roll in half, give me a buzz, will you? And I'll come on. I'll pick it up."
And
guy said, "I can't do that." I said, it was worth a shot anyway.
All right, Ginger's got a question for us. Name the best affordable olive oil. Well, as Tom pointed out, is it really olive oil?
Yeah. Here's what I do. Okay. I go to Trader Joe's. Okay. And when I cook, I don't use virgin olive oil or extra virgin oil. I use regular olive oil.
Right.
Okay. It's got a higher flash point. Anything I cook is not going to be over 400 degrees anyway in a pan. It's going to get up to that. But I use Trader Joe olive oil. There it is. And then whatever I'll get, whatever is on sale as far as I have no specific brand that I use for extra virgin olive oil.
Right.
And also I use a lot of avocado oil also.
Does that go with your avocado bottle?
Yeah. Senior avocado.
Senior avocado.
But yeah, there again, pricing stuff out as far as imported from Italy. Okay. Yeah, there are some great ones out there, but there again, are they real? Is it a real? Is it blended with something? Is it put in with some kind of seed oil? Something with no taste to blend it a little bit more so it's not as expensive for them to ship it. Whatever. That's I'm not a conspiracy theorist either. Okay, to me it's just greed, flat out greed on the parts of the manufacturers. That's all it is.
So I have worked for I've worked for a generic drug company, and I worked for a company here in Milwaukee called Gale Foods, and they are food manufacturers, mostly of shelf-stable products. Mm-hmm. And the reality is they're slapping somebody's label on something, but it's all the same stuff. They're making the same stuff for Kraft, for whoever they're making it for, to make shelf-stable items. Now, this is not true of everything, and drugs were the same way. The generics and the ones that are for manufacturers, a lot of them are the same exact thing. They're coming. I'll tell you another story. When I was in Ireland a few years ago, and we went to the Bushmills plant where they make Bushmills Irish.
Yeah.
And so we're going through, and they're up above and looking down, and the conveyor belts going back and forth. And there's these boxes of Jamesons. And I said, well, that's interesting. Why do you have Jamesons? I said, we bottle Jameson's Irish. So Bushmills is making Jameson's Irish whiskey. Yeah. And this is true all over. So, Ginger, to answer your question, the generic store brand is probably the same stuff that some of the manufacturers have. They just, because it's their store brand with their label, they can charge less.
Yeah, they get a kickback on it. The other thing, Charlie, is I went to work for a company. I was building kitchens, test kitchens. Uh-huh. Okay. This place was out of Holland. It's called Firmenich. Okay. Flavors and fragrances. They're up by Princeton University in New Jersey. So one day I'm going from building to building because we would build these studio kitchens. Okay. And they would have people come in and they would test products. Okay. One day would be sausage. Another day would be this or that, whatever, jarred sauce, whatever. Their claim to fame, Firmenich, was Estee Lauder perfume. That's what their big thing was. So one day I'm here. They had a helipad there because they had people coming in and out all over the place. I see this helicopter coming down, all black. It almost looked like the movie Men in Black. Uh-huh. Okay, but you look at the side of the helicopter. There was no big logos on it, but two small gold arches. McDonald's. Okay, this place was making the flavoring for their oil, their fry oil, for their French fries. Okay, all for one item. Okay, everything had to be the same. These guys get out with briefcases and all looking around, had the black sign. I'm like, what the hell is this? That's how big business is with this stuff. Everything was the same. Okay, you know yourself, if you take a potato and cut a potato up, you're going to get 3 different types of potatoes, 3 different flavors out of it. This was all consistent. Okay, and then I come to find out talking to these people, to the people that work there, that most of their flavoring that they did, they had all these big conglomerates. Okay. And it all came from the United States, nothing overseas. It was all made here. All these different flavors, Bisquick, all that stuff was done in this laboratory.
Right.
I questioned, I questioned it years ago about cheese doodles. Okay. They're not cheese. That's all manufactured. Well, I had a friend of mine worked in that same company, and he would take blocks of cheddar cheese and put it into this dehydrator and come out with powdered cheese for cheese doodles. I was like, wow, look at that. But the rest of the stuff that went into it was all chemical.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
preservatives. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you think you're getting and what they advertise is two different things. So that's why I preach about eating whole foods, clean. You know what I mean? Make your own sauces. Make all your own stuff from scratch. If you don't know how to do it, learn. YouTube's a big place out there.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video for everything.
Yeah, I mean, just learn how to cook yourself. Though I wouldn't depend on anybody.
I think there's a YouTube video out there that shows you how to make powdered tomatoes.
I know personally. I know somebody who knows how to do that.
She's online right now.
But see, that's all good stuff. Would I ever think about getting older now? You know what? This past weekend, I dehydrated some onions. I dehydrated some garlic. Okay, because I use a lot of it.
Right.
I also dehydrated. Okay, some zucchini. Because I like to slice them, run them through a deep fryer real quick, and take them out, season them up, and eat them that way with a little lemon sauce, stuff like that. If you do it wet, you can't get the same temperature as you would do it commercially.
And they're full of water.
Yeah, and you'll wind up starting fire. But I did that. I tried doing that. So yeah, I mean, I learn a lot from everybody else. It's not that I know everything. I learn from you. All right, I learn from everybody that I watch, and that's why I'm intrigued about YouTube.
Talking about you, Ginger.
Yeah, she's got a great channel. I mean, matter of fact, Ginger, I don't know if you know, Marie just planted the purple peppers. So I'm going to see what they're going to get going about.
See if you can see we had snow over the last few days.
Oh,
yeah. It's Wisconsin, so it'll be on the ground till probably, May.
I woke up this morning a little stiff getting out of bed, and it was pouring rain here in the desert. Which is almost like, oh, what the hell is that?
All right, time for another Italian lesson. So, when you say the word pizza, it sounds like there's a T in there. Pizza. It's not pizza because that's a city in Italy. It's pizza. So, calzone is the same word. It's not calzone. It's calzone. It's you pronounce the Z in calzone the same way you would in pizza. So let's all practice.
Okay.
Calzone. And this is another one with the E at the end. Sounds like an A. All right.
There's stuff a calzone, huh?
So one of the things that I've done this for years is I love going to the grocery store. I don't mind going to the grocery store. And I've always 95% of what I buy is fresh. Fresh vegetables, which is one of the reasons I go to the grocery store every day, because if you're buying fresh, you either have to eat it right away or it doesn't keep. But it also, if you're nimble in the grocery store, and you walk in, you go, avocados are $2 for $1. Okay, and you got to figure it, and that's where the cooking that I know a lot of the people online right now do is look in the fridge and see what's there and make something. I've seen a lot of the people that are online do that, and that's part of going to the grocery store too. If you're nimble, you can look and say, oh, look, that's on sale. The shrimp's on sale today. And I was laughing when you said, the shrimp was on sale, because it goes, sometimes it's $6.99, Some days it's $7.99. This week it was $8.99, and then they'll go back on sale to $6.99. It's the same. It just kind of goes back and forth. You just have to hit it at the right time. But that's if you're someone who goes to the grocery store, yeah, you're right, Meg. Murray. How can you see The Godfather too many times? That's not possible.
No, my Godfather.
Oh, your Godfather video. Okay. But I think that's you can save money if you're both a smart shopper and you
okay, Karen.
Yeah. And you can figure out, I can make something out of this.
The fact of the matter is, there again, back to the old get off my lawn guy. Okay. What really bothers me now my people who follow me, okay, it cracked me up. I was shooting for the older folks. Okay. And I wound up from 24 to 34. Blew my mind. That's the biggest part of the followers of my channel. But what I try to do is I try to talk to the older folks like ourselves. If you do get out to the store, if you're nimble, to move around and stuff like that, you're getting your exercise. Number one, walk around the store with your cart, look at things. Okay. Keeps your mind sharp. Okay. Well, let's see. This is on sale. Let me do the little math in my head. Keep your mind sharp. Okay. And I like to aggravate people anyway, just walking around nice and slow, stop in front of something, see the people in a hurry trying to get around you. So that's my game, for the day.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I enjoy grocery shopping, like I said, and I don't mind walking around and seeing what's on sale.
But you stay in touch. You also stay in touch with things, what's going on in the world, instead of just being, hibernating at home and then so what am I going to eat? Let's have a TV dinner and stuff.
No, I started. we have a saying. My wife and I have a saying because my wife's mother would always at breakfast say, "So what should we have for dinner tonight?" And so I do the same thing to her. Says, "Well, what do you want to have for dinner tonight?" She says, "I just got up. Well, I'm going to go to the grocery store, and I wanted to get some, give me some input on what you want."
Charlie, I have a new flip on things, okay? Because here's what my wife says to me: "Are you making a video today?" That means she don't have to cook. Too funny.
Does she know your schedule?
Yeah, exactly. But what? I don't. Nowadays, okay, there again, get off my lawn. But I'm going to binge watch Netflix tonight. I don't have time to make dinner. No, come on, that's totally wrong. You know what I mean? Learn
that's
how to
you
cook.
Or Marie.
No, I'm just saying other people tell me.
Okay.
This week when I work so hard this week, I'm going to binge watch Netflix. So we're going to order out. We're going to Uber. Really? I just don't. That don't make sense to me. It just really doesn't. You can crack an egg, put a $50 egg in a pan, scramble it up, and you have no problem.
Who knew eggs cost more than steaks?
Yeah.
We definitely order out once a week, usually on Fridays. It's just we either graze through. A lot of times it's just leftovers, whatever in the fridge, and we just have leftovers, or we'll say, let's go. We have a pizza place literally next door, and then we've got on our street. There's a Latin restaurant in my building. There's a dumpling Asian place across the street. Next door, one building over, is a pizza place. Farther down is a seafood called Sail Loft, and at the other end is a Korean barbecue. So on the street, that's on my street. That's what I have. Yeah. And then the area that we live in is a walkable urban place, and there's all kinds of places. So we went to the Latin place in our building the other night. It was snowing, and we hadn't decided what to do for dinner, and there was some. I said, "Well, I got a lot of fish here." I said, "Nah, I don't want fish." oh, we made pasta with clam sauce. He said, well, let's go downstairs to to Cava. That's the name of the restaurant. And the owner there, who's a chef, knows us, knows that we live in the building. So we've been granted a dispensation to knock on the back door that backs up to our garage in the building, and they let us walk through the kitchen down into the restaurant, so we don't have to go outside and in the snow or whatever weather. If it's nice weather, we'll walk. But if it's if it's snowing, do you know who I am?
This.
But I mean, I thought it was very nice of them to say, just come out there, knock on the door, and we'll let you in. And you walk through the kitchen, and we'll.
This picture comes from a place that we go to all the time. Okay, the owners are like our age and stuff like that, and they're open till 11 o'clock every night. It's an Italian Tuscany grill. Okay, and the steaks are off the charts. I mean, just really good food. We'll sit at the bar, and at first I didn't know this. But if you sit at the bar and you play, slot machines and stuff like that they have on the bar, okay, the longer you play, you don't pay for your drinks, okay? So, and then when you order food, they come out with a little tray and it sits at the end of the bar, and you can sit there and it's enough room and everything. But the food is really good. But they know that we're low carb, okay? So I'll have a filet mignon. The prices hadn't changed since the pandemic and all that crap, but every time we walk in, hey, Tom, how you doing? Pretty good, Lou. How you doing? Okay, come on, sit over there. Come on. You want a table? I said, no, we'll sit at the bar. So I'm looking at the picture. That was a small picture on the wall. I said, I'd like to take a picture of that. I said, I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, put it on YouTube. No problem. Yeah, put it up on the YouTube. No problem. I said, okay. So I took the picture, and I blew it up. That's my background now.
Is that Joey Bishop? I mean, not Joey. Is that from the Desert Inn? It's like
that's
from the Desert Inn.
Yeah, that's the Rat Pack. That's Joey Bishop and Peter Lawford.
Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, Dean, and Frank.
So, yeah, I mean, when you get to know people like that and you walk in and this and that, the waitress comes over, hey, how you doing, guys? I know, no potato, no croutons, this and that. And it's just great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice to have a place, and for me, it's nice to have a place in our building. But they're only open. It's a small little place that for the dumpling place across the street. It used to be their bakery. And so they dropped the bakery, and this woman, Chef Anna, moved in and took it over, but they're only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They only open 3 days a week.
Matter of fact, you said the Desert Inn. These three fellers, okay, all worked in the Desert Inn. Okay, one was the maitre d', the other one was the head waiter, and the other guy was the chef.
Well, that was where Sinatra played for. That was his home.
That was his grounds right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the music you play on your videos. I always try to pick out. Where's that from? Oh, I know that one. Oh, I know that one. But you do have a compilation of good music on there. Now, is that your own bringing that in, or is that stuff you could just use that's on the shorts?
You could just use on the short side, but okay. There again, you have to, being a half-assed musician myself, you have to share the revenue with that on the shorts now. In other words, if
the royalties?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, I'm not going to have 10 million views.
Isn't there a sampling? A maximum sampling if you're under 10 seconds or 15 seconds or whatever it is?
Yeah, they let you have it, but also now that they're starting to push back on that also. So now that's the other good thing about remixing. Okay, so you can take a short, okay? If you have music on it, you can download the short and change the music on it, as long as you do it on your phone.
Right.
So, yeah. I like different music. I try to see, I put some up that were bombs. People just, the hell is that? Whatever. But it's just playing with it, and they just, it's like shooting crap, just trying to get, you're up a little bit, but you're not going to bottom out completely. You just like I always say, play with your food. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great saying. And I know Mike, that a lot of the ones that Mike puts up, and I say, you're using Tom Garvey's mantras is play with your food. That's what he's doing. I mean, all of his videos, he's making stuff up as he goes along.
Well, stop and think about it, Charlie, real quick. Okay. Recipes are what? People put stuff together, okay, that they like, and they put them out there for recipes. And you follow that recipe. It's written almost like a written,
roadmap.
Yeah. So if you change something on it, so now you're changing the recipe to suit you or not suit you, okay, and just take an ingredient out, add something in, playing with it. So now you make it your own.
Right.
So being on what I'm doing with the low carb and stuff. Hey, I used to make my own breads. I used to make pizza doughs, all that stuff. Very high carb diet I had. All right, and not getting too deep into the keto world, but once I stopped that, now I'm playing with different ways of doing it. I got this one pasta that I'm working on right now. Well, I tell you what, even La Boss in the other room.
Oh, I saw that you always let you put it out kind of like a crepe or
yeah.
The
only thing is missing. The only thing is missing because Maria makes. Yeah, Marie made her own Manigot shells, and it's really basically to that, other than the cheese that's in it. So no flour.
So I wanted to point out one of the guys who just popped this. There's Dicking Around Outdoors. You know his channel, Tom?
No, I don't.
He's he does a lot of travel. He does outdoor cooking with a lot of cast iron pans.
Oh, cool.
And so I've gotten to know him just a little bit. I think he's going to be on in a few weeks.
Oh, check him out, definitely.
He's a funny guy, and a lot of disparate types of videos out there. A lot of travel, a lot of I like the outdoor cooking that he does, obviously, because it's interesting, and he's figuring out how do you work around the limitations of working either with a fire or wherever you are. I think he just had one the other day where they were limited with outdoor flames, so he had to figure out how to work around that, and then make his I think he ended up smoking it, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so it's I like his channel too, but he's good guy.
I like that kind of stuff because it's everything's different. It all revolves around food and fire.
Now, the only bad thing is that he's from Iowa, and I don't. Maryland plays Iowa, and Iowa thinks they're really good. So I just can't really get into thinking Iowa's all that great. I got guys that's 7'6" and weighs 130 pounds.
I say nothing.
He's their big gun. They had Luca Garza last year. Anyway, Dick, love your show, love your channel. Anyway, so there's other people we should say hi to. Sleeper Barbecues, Lance.
Yep.
Always a fun guy out there. Who else are we missing over there? Karen. We saw her in the kitchen.
Michelle from Big Valley. Big Valley living.
Mysteries. Everybody out there needs to check out Meg's Mysteries. That's Marie. It's Tom's wife. So I read a little smart ass comment on her last one called The Night Shift. I said, wasn't that a movie in the 80s with Henry Winkler and Michael Keaton? Yeah, it was, but I knew it was. So what I really thought, I thought it was the Darren McGavin. That was The Night Stalker, not The Night Shift.
This is
Carl Kolchak.
This is all her own stuff. I tell you, sometimes she looks at me when I walk past her, going, from one room to the other, and she's looking at me. I'm saying, she's trying to kill me, I think, and make a story of it. But she's doing good. It's taking off. This is all stuff that she wrote herself, and
I know. I like the Marie. I like the Ice Queen one. That was an interesting one. It was a little oogie for me, but I did get through it. Took me 2 days.
I love her to death, but somebody wrote on one of her things, said, "You have such a soothing voice." I'm like, what? Ooh, I'm getting looks right now.
Oh man.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, that's an area that I'm
you
not
know what,
crazy.
Charlie? You have to laugh. You have to keep life moving. That's why I like cooking this and that, because you know what, you can fall into that trap. You know, I don't feel like doing. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. I got to keep moving with it, and
Yeah.
I enjoy YouTube, um, watching other people do stuff. Your channel, okay. I look back and I say, wow, Charlie's got a lot of nice people that are coming up that are cooking. How'd you get the mayor to make breakfast?
Well, I have to confess that all these power brokers and big shots in the city, that's all because of my wife. I mean, my wife is um, she's president of the Greater Milwaukee Foundation, which is the big local foundation in town, and those are the people that she interacts with. And when I go to events, I'm introduced to them. So I've got to know these people over time. So when I call the mayor's office and say, "Hi, this is Charlie DeSando. My wife is Ellen Gilligan," and go, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And I say, I'd like to, have the mayor on for, "Oh, that'd be great. I think he'd have a good time." So, I have an introduction because of who my wife is to these people. And a lot of them are actually my friends that I've known since we've lived here about 12 years now. And it is because I'll tell you, this is a funny story about the mayor. So he was at a mayor's conference in, I don't even know where he was, California or Chicago or someplace. And I have a good friend here in Milwaukee. His name is Tim. His sister is in politics in Iowa. Dick around outdoors. And I think it was the mayor of Des Moines was talking with our mayor, Cavalier Johnson, and what's his name? Tim's sister, who that's the connection between the whole situation, was reporting back to Tim here in Milwaukee that our mayor, Johnson of Milwaukee, could not stop talking to the mayor of Des Moines about being on my show and cooking.
Cool.
So I said, my wife says, I shudder to tell you this story because it'll just blow your ego up more than it even is. But,
see, I would like to hang out with Marie's friends, but they're all dead. So,
my wife is the conduit for getting these people on, and I've got a list of there's a list of the 100 top power brokers in Milwaukee, and so the people I've got coming up in the next 6-8 weeks, all of them are on the list, and it's just happenstance. They're just friends of mine, and like a guy I've got coming on in a couple weeks, his name's Willie Hines. His wife works for my wife, and we go to events, and we don't want to. I don't really care what they're doing over there, so he and I are just chit chat. He played basketball for Marquette. He was on the Common Council. He was the president of the Common Council. He's in the Marquette Hall of Fame as a basketball player, and we're just good friends. We go to sporting events all the time, and but that's so I've kind of latched on to all of her friends and made them my friends, and that's how they come on the show.
Yeah. So. How far in advance are you booked up, John?
Through mid-April.
Wow, very nice. Let me explain how I feel about this. I think this is the best thing ever. Okay, no, because you know what, you're bringing people together that otherwise we would never see. Now, right. Obviously, me and you are friends and stuff like that. So, who you have on, okay, like you just said, dicking around, I'll check his channel out and stuff like that, and some other people that I don't know, I'll check them out. So that's how this networking thing works. Okay. And it all has everything in common is food. That's the common denominator.
And I don't have to cook on these shows, so
yeah, exactly.
No, I agree. And it's fun, and it's for me. These interviews they're serious people with serious jobs having some fun, and that's one of the reasons they do it is because they know me. I'm not a threat. I'm not going to ambush them. And, they get to be a little goofy for a little while.
And, the bottom line is, too, you don't know exactly who's watching. Not everybody comments. Not everybody is subscribed. So this YouTube thing is wide open.
Right.
I mean, you have really no clue exactly who's watching, watching what you're saying or anything like that. So yeah, it's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, I'm having fun with it, and I was like I said, with your stuff, and I like the videos. That, the longer ones, they're just interesting to me. They're interesting how you put everything together and how it all kind of melds together, and then like the one that you just did on the pork belly. I just sat down and watched the whole thing, and just went through it, and I got interrupted one time, so I had to pause it. But I was curious, how is this all going to fit together? And then the thing with the eggplant really was interesting to me, because that's just another thing to think about, preparing for the future. Having to.
I decided for a while there was over, talk over, put the video up, talk over it, and this and that. But
Right.
My neighbors, every once in a while, they would come out and look out the balcony because son of a bitch, screaming at to take it over again. So I told Maria, I said, you know what? I'm going back to the basics again. Okay. I want to cook. And what I say, I'm going to say, and it is what it is. And coming up with that boom camera, just to slide back and forth, okay, makes life much easier rather than me stopping, pausing the video, doing it again. I can flow with it. Let's put it this way. My narration, National Geographic's not looking for me to come do a narration over their stuff. Forget about it, eh? Move.
There's the one guy that I always laugh who's doing voiceovers is Patrick on Patty Joe Cooking. He does voiceovers on his show. He said, "Oh, and we got some cheese there, and we've got some, and we've got fries. And wait, no, we have chips. We don't have fries. Oh, chips. Oh, they're really delicious." And I mean, he's just
but his energy that's what keeps you going. And he looks at you. He did that one. He did that one video where he was going into the bottle shop or something. He looked over a place where he said his new house was going to be. It was, I guess, a big hole. And they were putting a high rise up. So he had the camera, and he says, "All right, come on, let's go back to the house." And this and that. And the camera was still on, and he come back in again. He went, "Well, you coming?" I lost it.
He's hilarious. He's
a great guy. You know what? Great supporter too.
Yeah, but that's another interesting, different. Knows how to cook. I'm going to go back and he did a fake haggis. I got to do that because it just looked delicious. I mean, it sounded delicious. It sounded horrible, but
me and him will go back and forth. I used to do some late night lives and stuff like that, and I'm backing away from that. I'm backing away from all that extra lives and stuff like that. It doesn't help me out.
Right.
Keeps me up too late at night anyway. But I'm just concentrating on my Wednesdays with me and Mike. That we're going to continue. We're going to start bringing more people up and just doing that kind of stuff like you're doing here. But I lost my train of thought on this one here. But
while you get it back, everybody remember the Wednesday Tom and Mike show, 5 Central, 6 Eastern.
3 Pacific.
Keto Boys yucking it up.
Yeah, you know what? And it's almost becoming like Hope and Crosby. Mike's a great guy. Mike.
Which one are you?
Ooh, I don't know. I go back and forth.
Do you want to be big?
I did a mail call today because Mike sent me out.
I saw that. Yeah.
I cracked up with that. I really did.
Now, are those knife gloves or heat gloves?
Knife for cuts.
Because I was I'm in the process, and I was just going to send it to you, but I have these gloves from Grillaholics, which are hand gloves, which are silicone. And I saw you on one of your videos recently reach for a pan or something. I said, "Oh, don't touch that; it's hot." I said, "I got to send him some gloves," so I was going to send you some Grillaholics finger gloves.
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea is you got to be safe, okay? And when I cut my thumb, all right, that was because I got careless with it, and I know better, okay? But I got a lot of feedback on that. If I'm okay, you all right? What happened? back and forth, back and forth. I said, it was stupidity on my part, really. And that's why I said, Bree, get the Band-Aids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't remember what it was. It was recent that you were reaching for a hot pan or something. And I'm kind of, when you work enough in kitchens, you kind of get asbestos fingers, and it's, you work through it. But it's still, I was one of the guys who was on my show. We had a cast iron pan, and those heat up in about 10 seconds. And I brought the gloves down and I put them beside him. I said, you probably need to put those on. He said, oh, no, I'm fine. And he reached for a go. And I said, okay, now you can put the gloves on. But they're great because they're fingers. Mm-hmm. But they're like, the oven mitts. Instead of oven mitts, you can use your fingers. So I'm going to send you a pair.
Cool. Very good.
But no mail call. Just put them on.
I have to burn myself first.
I think we're approaching our time. I appreciate you taking the time. Nice, Mike. How's it going? We have to give Mike an Italian lesson, so he's a little bit late.
Yeah, he is. I'll send him down to the principal's office. We'll get that squared away.
So, Mike, we were talking about it's not a panino. It's not a panini. It's a panino. Panino is one sandwich. Panini is multiple sandwiches. And just because you stick it under a press and put grill marks on it does not make it a panini. It just makes it a sandwich, a panino. So, later, dude.
Dude, take care, brother.
Anyway, so again, everybody, thanks a lot for joining us. Who's next week? I got to think who's next week.
I just want to let everybody know that this guy over here, okay, Charlie, is a great supporter, great friend, and I tell you what, a great person, just for what he does, okay? And if you're not subscribed or join his cookingsecretsformen.com, check it out, man. I tell you, great person. Charlie, I love you to death. I really do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very kind words. I do appreciate it. And right back at you. You're a great supporter of mine. I've learned a lot from you, learned with you. And I think we've, kind of branched into finding all these different people that we've become friends with or compatriots with. And, we've talked about these people like the dude and some of the others. So next week is Black Iowa. And if you guys don't know Black Iowa, you're in for a treat. He's a young guy. He's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, so I'm sure he'll be wearing his Kansas City Chief garb. But he is so into what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word, but he has a lot of cut-ins of cartoons and people and movies.
He's got a great channel, and what it sort of aggravates me a little bit, okay, because he is a funny guy, okay. He gets his point across, and he cooks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't know. Me and him go back for, hey, how you doing? He's got a great channel, really.
Yeah. So he'll be on next week. So everybody, thanks so much. Subscribe to Tom Keto, Tom Garvey Keto Cooking with Tom. What are we calling it now?
Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook.
Right. And I'm Cooking Secrets for Men. Love you if you subscribe. So we'll be back next week if you're in for a treat to meet Black Iowa.
Well, it's gonna be fun.
He's neither black nor from Iowa, so it's an interesting. He'll explain why he has the name Black Iowa, which I know what it is, but I'll let him tell what it is. So, all right, everybody, thanks so much. Have a great evening, and we'll catch you around YouTube.
Yep. Take care, guys. Thank you for coming in.
Bye-bye.